Around here it's so busy with contractors and everything, it takes so long to get anything built on site, so that's what first got me looking on the computer, just snooping things out, and Jadah offered a turnkey and it really appealed to me.
For us, I think the obstacles that buying RTM was there was specific floor plans to have to use, or timing, like some of the places we contacted didn't have time to build for the time frame that we were looking at, and quality actually, right?
Quality and price. If I had any apprehensions about an RTM, it would have been the move itself, whether the house could have taken the move, especially on some of the highways around here. That would have been probably my only if about doing it. The process with Jadah for us was I happened to see it in a local newspaper, an ad form, so I went onto their website and basically looked at some of the pictures of what they had and was quite impressed. For me, I didn't want a RTM home that just looked like a box. These houses looked unique. So I phoned James up. We drove up one weekend and just had a meeting with him, and just to decide whether we were going to get serious about it or not, and we decided we would, so made a date for another meeting to go up for a two-day design process.
And that was quite interesting for us actually, because we got there the first day and went right away and met with the architect. We were quite happy with that. We were very surprised with Bruce. He was awesome to work with, and what we brought him, we thought we were bringing him something that was crazy, or two different things, three different plans actually. We wanted to mix this one with this one. We want the front of the house to look like this, and he pulled the magic off, and here we are now. But that was the first step, and then we met with interior decorators, which were great, and that was at the flooring place, and the flooring people were really good too to work with. And from there we moved on to the cabinet people, and they were really good to work with as well. And just the next day we just nailed down a few more things, and after that we did get to meet with them. James sent us photo updates throughout the process, which was really nice. And then we went 2 more times just to visit to check out how the house was progressing, and that was pretty cool, because then you can see, we're making these choices and you're seeing it come together. So it was quite good that way too. And actually, even the moving people were fantastic. The people who moved it, they did a really nice job as well. During the 2-day process, I would say the meeting with Bruce, the architect, was probably something that really stood out to us. We were very happy with that and surprised how well we communicated with him and James as well, and ourselves.
It was the one I was most worried about, and the one I walked away just completely relieved. Thing I liked about it is the first day, it's a hectic little process. There's lots of stuff to go through. The first day, our last stop was cupboards, and my wife had pretty much had it for the day.
But James, he clued into that so quick, and he just is like, he scooped us up and took us out, and he apologized. He said, "Oh, Tara, you're overwhelmed. I got to get you out of here," and took us back and said, "You know what? Go get something to eat. We'll come back here tomorrow." And first thing in the morning, we went back to the cabinet place, and it was a very good idea to do that, like take that break. But he knew right away.
Turnkey would be the main benefit, I would say, especially in where we're living right now, to try to get all the trades organized to come up with a complete house. We know people that are 2 years waiting to get into a new house, and we were 5 months.
And the quality, I think that was
Sure.
Huge. Like the fact that they, put a sheet of plywood on all the outside walls and the roof before they even bring it. I mean, that saves
Yeah,
it's a big time in cracks when you get here. We only had 2 small cracks, and that was all we had. So
that was a big thing for me. They're one of the only companies that I've seen that actually, this house is built stronger than anything that's built on site. James is a good salesman. I was super impressed.
The tradespeople were fantastic. They were, like, from the carpenters to the electricians to the plumbers, even the architect. All
the
of it,
stucco
all the way.
people worked till midnight just to get us in.
Yeah, it was awesome. Once we signed the contract, there were no surprises whatsoever. Anything that we signed up, when we signed the agreement, if there were any changes, it was agreed upon between us and James, and there was a document signed, and nothing ever changed outside of that at all.
Yeah, we had a little bit of issues because the spring was really, really wet the year that they were working on it, so he had a little trouble getting it here. But once he had it here, the trades that come and worked on it, they made up the difference, and here we are.
A couple of the features that we wanted to for sure add was the mudroom. I wanted to have it fairly big because we have two teenage boys, so fairly big for them to be able to come in and bring their sports things, and Terry works, you know, in the oil field, so it would be nice to have a place for this stuff to be. So I wanted it to be big enough because we're going to put the washer and dryer in there, plus kind of have like lockers and an area for them to hang all of their jackets and stuff. So that was a big part for us to have that addition. And then we really wanted to have like a really nice sort of fireplace, like it was the focal point in the room with the TV over it, and that was probably the 2 major things that we were asking for. From beginning to end, the process, we signed the papers about April 15th, and we moved in
October 7th.
October 7th. So it was a bit longer than planned, but like it was mostly because of the flooding that had happened. So that was why it was delayed, and that was actually like when they bringing the house, like B&B, for them to bring the house here. That was what held them up. So the house was ready, sitting in Winkler ready, and we knew that, and so we just had to wait patiently till they could bring it. Like the tradespeople are fantastic.
I don't know if enough can be said about them guys.
It's unbelievable, all of them, right from the, like he said, right from the guys that were doing the cement work to everything. They were unreal, and it was very, very,
like
very
those plumbers and those electricians, well, in the end, they just plugged their camper into the side there, and they'd work till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and they'd be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Because they knew we were sleeping in our camper, we were living in our camper, and it was getting to just about not camper weather anymore, and they did everything to get us in here. James pushed them hard.
But they worked fantastic together, which was really good too for us to see that.